Ah, there you are, my fellow Raptorians. Well, hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and it's time for another city builder. Circle of Kerzoven is the name of this one, and I've never heard of this game before, and kind of just popped up recently on my radar with the Steam Builder Fest going on, the base building thing going on from the 23rd until I think it's the 10th of February. It might be wrong on those dates, but it's lasting for a while. But one thing is certain, that these city builder games and survival games last forever. They're all so good and so fun in many different ways, and this of course has those little, I don't know, Lego-like art style. That's the only way I can equate that, but seems like a fun city builder with some interesting twists to it that we have not seen before. But all the regular pieces are here of building roads and houses and supplying people with food and trade and jobs in order to keep them happy and be able to get resources that they couldn't get anywhere else. Well, thank you again for subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to do that, and don't forget to also smash like as well, and smash the join button if you'd like to become a member too. Appreciate the support. This is an alpha demo, as you can see on the screen. Very small text. It's just an alpha demo version. So the game's not yet complete, but hopefully it's the type of game that gets a full release soon. So without further ado, let's check out Circle of Kerzoven. And for the map select, we have two regions to choose from. We have Kerzoven and Veltheim. Apparently the second one is a little bit more challenging for veteran players, but Kerzoven says that we're a group of volunteer settlers who are claiming an almost untouched land. We've promised them new and great fortunes and futures and a territory to raise their family. So that's all good stuff. So we're colonizing lands of our kingdom, but lands that haven't yet been colonized or tamed. Interesting. So it looks like there are 4 maps in the demo. New Worlds will be able to build a town. There's a map with 2 neutral factions. Oh, undiscovered desert region and also a moderate region. So it looks like there'll be other maps, or rather villages in the map, or other areas to explore that will actually have other villages we can trade with, possibly on screen. That'd be a first. It's been a while since I've seen a game where you can actually build a village of your own and then visibly trade with others in the same map. Alright, that's cool. Take a look at the region of Kerzoven. Advisor to the landlord. Ah, good. You are here. You've probably already heard, we want to develop the huge Kerzoven region. I know this may surprise some, especially since that the territory holds only a small population and thus hardly any taxes, and especially that region is almost deserted. We must see to the situation of the entire empire. In the north and the south of the empire, we are seeing rapid population growth. Already now, it's become more difficult for the common people. Farms are being cut up smaller and smaller by real division, while taxes remain the same or even increase. New land can only be gained to a limited extent by clearing or developing less optimal areas. Even among the nobility, there are more and more descendants who are not entitled to inherit. I think you see where I'm going with this. We may be one of the largest countries or counties in the empire, yet we're insignificant, but it doesn't have to be that way. I want you to develop the Kerzoven region. Be wise and make sure that the people lack nothing. New settlers will come to you from different regions of the empire, bringing with them different customs and ideas. Treat them with openness and decency, so they prefer to live with you rather than elsewhere. Your first goal will be to build a community center to consolidate your position in the region. For this, you'll need a lot of wood, stone, and other materials. Take care of your supplies as well, because the summer is quickly over. Good luck. We're counting on you. Oh, that's amazing. What a great intro for that game. Okay, so yeah, we're trying to develop a relatively quiet region of a kingdom while there's major activity going on around us in terms of like the north and south regions being kind of like, I don't know, major cities or major capital regions. It's almost like we're like Siberia or like some area in Africa that's not just been developed yet. There's lots of resources and people are increasing in numbers, but it's up to us to like give everybody jobs and house them, and people will eventually take notice. It's kind of like the Caribbean in like the 50s, 60s, and 70s, developing that into like a tourist destination, then eventually, not focusing on natural resources and exports, but bringing people there to live or to, do work and such, and to do tourism. Sustainable. Is that blueberries? We got some blueberries here. Oh, bush. Looks like there's materials in that too. Wow, everything's got detail to it. There's grains here with grass and cereals. Oh, that's beautiful. I love this art style. It really reminds me a lot of Lego. I think it's great. And the skybox looks gorgeous. There's not a cloud in the sky, but I like how this looks. That's fantastic. Beautiful. The journey begins. All right, we're going to cut a lot of this text out so we can kind of get into more buildings. So if there's some information or whatnot and I miss it, it's just because we're trying to get building as quickly as possible. So as they mentioned, we need to build a community center. So we have here resource acquisition, production, community streets and services, fences and walls, plants and fields, and deconstruction. All right. Well, we probably better get ready by... I wonder if we can put down the community center first and then build a... There's the community center there. Okay, we can't build it just yet, can we? Oh, we can. I wanted to put down blueprints and then start gathering materials, but where should we build this thing? Good spot like up here-ish? Kind of a nice spot, really. I just don't want to build where there's lots of resources, which seems to be everywhere. And actually, this seems like the best spot. And there's berries nearby, so that's good. Now, I'm seeing landscape that's pointing out a little bit, and this is reminding me a bit of, like, for example, Going Medieval, where we might be able to mine these resources and, like, flatten out the ground by telling people to mine the rocks. So that's kind of interesting. Let's build our Capitol building or our community center here. Wow, I like this. There's little, looks like there's a little stream here. Oh, that's great. There's like a small stream and there's a bigger river and then there's like a lake. That's cool. And there's already bridges that exist. Cool. All right, let's do what they say. Construction site done. Forester's stump, gatherer's shack, and a straw hut. Well, we saw the straw hut before, so let's start with the Forester's stump. Let's go ahead and plop that down somewhere nearby. Oh, I see. They can go to anywhere in the green. Now, is there a way to make a road? Yeah. Okay. So we've got little ramps there so we can actually go up and down to different levels that way. Hopefully we can build our own so that way we can easily get to the upper and lower levels. But for now, I guess we'll start over here. Not too many resources, but it's close. And that's good. All right, Forester's stump will be built shortly. Are we paused here? Oh, what are all these at the bottom? Faction details. Journals, population data, environmental data, map, and more. Ah, cool. This is made like Microsoft Paint. I love this. It almost looks like one of the old King's Quest maps or something. So there's many regions we can settle in. This is probably where how we can trade in this game. So we might be in like maybe the well, I think we're in the hills region. The lakes, we have a few, but nothing like that. It looks like we got an island. There's a deserty area. And they said activities in the north and south. I don't know if this is the whole region, but this is amazing. That's really cool. All right, let's go ahead and keep building. I love that. Oh, and it's kind of snowing? Or is it just pollen? Wow, there's lots of great detail. Really good. All right, so we're building the community center in the stump. They want us to also build a construction site. Is that a building? Baker's oven. Oh, look at these items. Let's go through them all, actually. Primitive stonemasonry, wells, sawing place, stonemason, smelter, farm, a baker's oven, tailoring tables, dairy production, forge. I love the artwork there. That's really clean. We have a windmill and a sawmill. We've got a straw hut. That's another thing we need to place down. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's build it like out here. We'll start with 4. Oh, they all have different... I wonder if there's a way to actually change their variety. There are different building types. It's like kind of a random variety for style. Very nice. Let's see. What else did we have here? So we have a fireplace, a mud street. Okay. How would you like to live on Mud Street? That's nice. There we go. Let's see. We've got a small cabin, a tap room. Love that. Marketplace, cesspit. Great. So it's got Twitter integration in it. Interesting. Also a hearty kitchen. That's pizza. Game of the year. This is game of the year. Forget the Harry Potter game coming out. Don't worry about that. And a big cabin. All right. We have walls too. So there's a chance we can be attacked out here. High wooden fences, gates, stone fences. We've got a weir. Wooden torch, high lantern, small lantern. Packages too. And then all sorts of decorative items and the ability to remove things. Great. I wonder if there's a way to separate roads and whatnot. That's cool. All right. So let's do it. Build 1 or 2 factory sites near trees. The plants will grow back automatically. Green markers show what can be farmed. Okay, good. There we go. I think I'm on pause now. Yeah, I hit spacebar before to look around. So now time is unlocked. Oh dear. I can't believe how much we wasted. What is that? A raccoon? Just hovering? Ah, yes. As raccoons do. Alright. A hover-coon. Wait, raccoon, that's bad. There was a city named after that. I'm getting bad feelings. Alright, we built a forester's stump, or at least we put it down. A gatherer's shack and a straw hut we have to place the gatherer's shack. Let's see, let's build that over here. Lots of berries. Oh, this is perfect. Cool, cool. And that'll do. Apparently they can even gather from this tree. What is that? A fruit tree as well. Okay. Doesn't necessarily say which, but... Alright. Loving this. Now, I think roads should probably be on their own thing at the bottom. I've noticed more and more games making roads as kind of like a separate option on the UI. And I find that to be quite helpful to be able to just see where it is right away without too much hide and seek, really. Build a road here. And there's somebody coming. It's one of our construction guys. Let's speed up time a little bit. Love this music. So this is... Okay, so they're just people kind of discovering the land. All right, so they... Oh, this is gorgeous. This is really good. So this reminds me of Going Medieval. And it also reminds me of Banished at the same time. And it has elements of settlement survival and patron and a few other of the city builders we played before. But this seems to be so far a little more laid back. It doesn't... It feels like if this were Banished, somebody would have died by now. That's how it goes. But I love the little details here. A little waterfall, wildlife walking around, different size rivers and streams. Most games just do one size fits all for rivers, and I'd love to see that variety. Would also hope to see trade in this game where we could do a big coastal trade, but with the Gatherer's Hut we might be able to also gather cereals, so we could probably live off the land for a while before we have to mess with that. Okay, so now we have a forester's stump. So do we need to assign workers? Let's see. So we have 8 people here. Population list. Storage schedule. Oh. Is this the hours of work? 12 hours? Oh, yeah, working hours. Okay. So we can actually assign people as if you would in RimWorld. Kind of. Instead of it being, hey, you work this job, we're actually doing it by hours. That's cool. Look at all the items. So we got lots of food and water. Water, yep. Leather, branches, okay. No weapons. I was looking for that. Bark, roots, and sprouts. So that's for gathering. Or our basic food. Alright. Delivered material 15 raw wood. So it looks like they're delivering materials for construction. Cut down trees, collect branches. Oh, the forester's stump will also collect mushrooms. So he's also a food producer. That makes sense, right? Be able to collect mushrooms off of trees and down things like that. Now, where'd everybody go? They're coming in. This guy's carrying something, looks like. He's carrying a branch. Oh, don't you want to stay closer to the base to like work on this stuff? There's plenty of trees. Maybe they can't cross that river. We'll see. All right, let's go maximum speed for now. There we go. Wow, we can go really fast. And let's wait a minute for them to build all their stuff. This is great. Ah, there we are. Employees. Only one. Looks like they auto-assign, so that's good. So the Gatherer's Shack and the Straw Hut are the next things for construction. And as they mentioned, trees will grow back, so I'm really hoping the coolest thing ever would be to be able to build into this mountain and then be able to build down. I'm hoping that we can actually do pit mining or be able to build our defenses based on construction that is like a square. block in the game rather than just buildings too. We'll have to see if the walls actually work that way. We did see those. There are defenses. There are then enemies. Alright, construction site is done. Forester's stump is done. Gatherer's shack. Can we make a priority here? Yeah, let's make that a top priority. There we go. And then people should be able to live here, although 10 people in one house? I don't think so. I think we're going to need a few more houses than that. But we can always pause the construction. This does seem like the type of game that easily accepts the blueprint layouts, where you can kind of build a city like this. And then as you're developing, you can pause or unpause buildings. So if you wanted to make a predetermined section of the city, you can lay it out and then construct it later when materials are available. Hey, check that out. Oh, I love the speed. That's fantastic. Let's not go much further than this. This is pretty good for now. Alright, so we're building the community center next. Let's make that a top priority. Oh, and actually they want a straw hut, so let's make this medium, and we'll make one hut a top priority. So that'll be it for phase 1. So people must come in from off the map and then start gathering random materials near the construction site and then start plopping it down, because the first building that you need to get going is the forester stump. But honestly, I think we should have more employees here than just one. If they're cutting down trees and also gathering leaves and maybe even making a food thing with mushroom, important. Bum, bum, bum. All right. Oh, and look at that. The moon is glistening off the water. Look at that. That's quite the detail. Excellent. And the edge of the map is kind of just... it's kind of flat, so I guess I'm not getting my hopes up for digging down, but it could be a future feature that we could see soon. Hey, there's a trade post here. Maybe like the edge of the map to do trade with. Okay. So we can connect our roads to that. So let's go ahead and do that. Where's our roads? Oh. Completely impound the water and during dry... Oh, wait, what? It impounds the water during dry periods, but also allows sufficient water to pass during floods. So there's a water control in this game. Is that one of the... What is this? A mushroom circle with something sleeping. A sheep. Oh, this game has some weird lore to it. Unless he just fell asleep there. Looks like there's a burial thing or something there. Okay. Interesting. Thought that was a statue. Okay, I want to build the road to the edge. Let's see if we can find that little construction plot. Where are our roads? There they are. Tier 3. Now, it looks like roads are free to build, and they're instantaneously built. And if we build across the river, or... Oh, there's the thing I was looking for. If we build across the river, it looks like they build a little plank bridge to start with. There we go. So now we actually have a way to our little kingdom, I guess. Perfect. Alright, cool. So we can trade with the edge of the map here. Or maybe people will come in from there. They cross the river and go up the little ramp and then boom. Now, if there is military stuff here, that's a perfect spot to put like a gatehouse or at least defenses. So enemies couldn't get up here. The other closest spot looks to be over here too. So there are a few locations that people could get up and down, but we want to make sure we have control of those. So let's go ahead and add some more roads. There we go. Go ahead and connect there. Perfect. Ah, it's a big old tree right there. Ancient tree. Oh. Wilderness, leaves, branch, raw wood. Alright, there's going to be some more lore to this game, which probably has something to do with the different biomes, which is cool. There's probably different building materials, different flora and fauna that we can encounter. Here's a peaceful deer. Pretty nice so far. Alright, they want us to at least complete a straw hut now. And I'm assuming everybody's sleeping on the ground for their first night. Oh boy. All right. We've got 3 people we can hire here. It looks like Jin, Simon, and then we have a vacant spot, so we need more people in the kingdom. So we could probably keep some of this data open. Population is at 8 for this class. Okay. Very nice. Wow, look, I still can't get over that water. That's very nice. Bum, 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 bum. So everybody's bringing more materials in. Looks like they're building all the houses at once. Wow. Look at all the road oh, well, they're not really staying on the roads. Is this person dead? No, they were just sleeping. A lot of road traffic here. But then they just get off the roads. Okay. So we're making this house a top priority to build. Now, it's a straw house, so how do we indicate to them to go get straw? There's material here. Well, actually, it says cereal and grass. Now, grass and straw could be used for a roof structure, like straw or hay. Mind the entrance. Small huts can house 2 people. Don't build too much at the same time. It takes a lot of work. True, but we've given one a priority. They're right about that, though. Let's pause everything else so maybe the AI does not get overwhelmed. If we just tell them to do one house... There we go. Lock all these down to 1. 1 out of 1 workers. Okay. Oh, that might be the bottleneck then. It looks like each home is going to be constructed by 1 person rather than like 8 people working on 1 house. It looks like they would all then try to build a house individually. That's interesting. Alright, I love that loop that goes down by the river like that. It's very nice. Wonder if there's also fertility for the land if we have a river like that. Also, big appreciation that the nighttime does not get too dark. It is a city builder after all, so being able to see what we're doing is good. Good. Alright, people are sleeping. Let's speed up time. We now have rain. So I wonder if that means any of the rivers are flooding. We can see an increased amount of water. Not necessarily. Alright, 1 house is fully approved. I think that builder's coming over. So from what I can see, we have 1 person at the chopper and 2 people at the gatherer's shack. So there shouldn't be any other jobs going on. What are some of our other classes? We have class 1 to 5. Jin is thirsty. These are their recent thoughts about wanting shelter and whatnot. Ah. Pending material. Okay. So it does take grass and branches. So in the pending material, that's what's in the list for what's needed for construction. That's interesting. So it's going to take a lot longer than I first suspected to be able to build a home, or in this case, a lot of materials for the community center. Rough rags, cut stone. That's going to be our end goal here. Okay, that's cool. Nice. Another day in the kingdom. There we go. Our first hut complete. Boy, they weren't kidding. Alright, so now we have a sense of the scale of this and how long it'll take to really build that kind of stuff. So now we need primitive stone masonry, so that might take care of the need at the HQ. A hand mill, which is known as a quern. Baker's single oven, and also a fireplace. So that's probably to be able to make flour and then eventually make dough, which leads me to believe we might need water. Alright. Well, let's do primitive stone masonry. There we go. Alright, let's start one building at a time. We've learned our lesson now. Well, we could build it near here because that's where we're probably going to be doing mining. Yeah, oh, it actually snaps into a place near the rocks. Oh, that's cool. Oh. I see that. Okay, it needs to be near there. Ah, okay. So the stonemason can go to the wall, cut out some stone, and then bring it back to process. Okay. Thankfully, roads are instantaneous. And I don't think the bridges cost any material. There we go. There's a little puddle there. Can Alt and Control to place roads freely. Let's see how that works. Not sure what that means exactly. You just tap Control and it puts down an individual road. Okay. Now let's see how deconstruction works. Ah, very simple. Very easy. Very good. Alright, let's see how this construction works. We're waiting for one person now to do this. Nope, it was instantaneously done. Good work. Well, everybody was Johnny on the spot with the supplies. Very nice. Alright, now the houses only like house a few. So, eventually we got to build this village up. But next we'll do the hand mill. Let's see what could be done for that. So there's what we're looking for. Oh, of course, that's going to take stone. And we're probably going to have to tell someone to go out and gather cereals or whatnot. So let's do it here. The gatherer might be able to do that. And then we also wanted the baker's oven simple. Like that. Looks cool. And then a fireplace. Oh, that's kind of a weird looking building. That must be what it looks like when it's upgraded in the picture there. It looks kind of like a actual fireplace, but here it looks like a community center from Timberborn or whatnot. Cool. Very nice. Community center looks weird. It almost looks like it's made out of ivory or well, like white marble. That's kind of nice. Maybe these buildings can upgrade to look like that. We plop down all the buildings that we want to build. So this one does seem to have an intended order of basically building a house and a logging camp, essentially, and then trying to get food by having people gather it and then try to make bread as quickly as possible. Luckily, there is water nearby. And a little sheepy sheep. So there must be animal husbandry. I'd imagine there's probably tailoring and more things than what we can see in the demo. There's probably some big endgame stuff and a lot more in which we can do than what we see here. Again, this is pre-alpha, and I'm quite impressed, actually. And this feels a lot more free than Banished in terms of being able to kind of build a little further away from your settlement. And although the map really reminds me of Going Medieval. The gameplay is Banished-like, but reminds me of something else too. I'm not sure what. But there goes the stonecutter. Looks like our people kind of follow the roads, but sometimes they're like, nah, I'm going to do what I want. Oh, it looks like they're getting ready to build the main building. We should probably make this building a lower priority now. Let's get this other stuff done. Let's get you guys some food here. Whatever it takes, go ahead and build those. Looks like they may have already finished delivering materials to this fireplace. Interesting. I love all the items in the game, too. Branches, leaves, just the artwork of how they look. Very nice. Oh, we can put down cactuses, too. Wheat fields and garden beds. Oh, we can take seeds to do that. Bark, roots, and sprouts. We have 30 in stock, so we actually could do farming from here. And garden beds will make us roots and berries. Blueberries. No way. No way. Big cabins, too. What's the point of a big cabin? Is that a house upgrade? Looks like, yeah, home's tier 2. Okay, so we have a tier 1 straw hut, tier 2 big cabin, or small cabin, and tier 3 is the big cabin. And that's for 4 or more. So 2 for the small, 4 for the medium size, and 4 or more for the big one. I don't know what that means, though, or more. There should be a limit. So technically, the game made us build a house for only 2 people, even though we have about 8 or so in the actual town. Yeah. Looks like we're at 8. Can we keep 2 menus open? Oh, we can. That's really nice. Cool. So you can build stuff and keep an eye on the town. That's helpful. It's starting to remind me of OpenTTD with how much, well, mini menus you can have on the screen. Takes a lot of time. All right, the baker's simple ovens up next. That's probably going to take a little bit more stone. 4 more to go. And that's basic food. I can already tell that by the pacing of this so far, this game's going to take quite some time to play in terms of building a village and maybe working towards an end monument, like a big cathedral or an aqueduct, or maybe building a military or whatnot. Maybe even what would be great here would be to build a harbor or a port and be able to build ships on the shore and have it take a very long time, where materials like nails and linens and ropes and other things like that need to be delivered, so then they can eventually go to build the boat, build the materials, then deliver it to the dock, have it all put together. That's awesome. Oh man, okay, so well is the next thing. Hand-powered well gets you fresh water from the ground. The simple one does not reach too deep. Gives me interesting thoughts about perhaps water mechanics of hydration, especially if there's desert biomes, and if there's also winter biomes too. Here's our own city map. Oh yeah, this reminds me of Banished too. But let's take a look at the world map. Is there... Yeah, there's the world map, yeah. So, yeah, we've got to be in one of these 2 areas. So it looks like maybe jungle. This would be hilarious if the devs were using this as kind of like a placeholder for what they wanted to make their map look like. If they never change it, I'll be happy. But looks like we have tropical, jungle, kind of like alpine slash maybe just standard whatever. What do you call it? Just a regular forest, I suppose. Kind of, you know, normal medieval setting. We also have what looks to be more like what I could imagine to be like Egyptian, just right off the Nile kind of feel. And then a massive castle up here, or some sort of a structure near this volcano. And then a lot of mountains. And it looks like there's igloos up there and stuff too. So yeah, there could definitely be lots of different biomes with lots of different products to make, and then different problems with resources, things that we don't necessarily have a lot of in one place, we can get a lot of in the other. Sand, for example, in those desert regions, we could make a lot of quartz glass. And perhaps we could also make a lot of, well, maybe we could make canals and make beautiful looking forests and maybe like farms and such by irrigation and doing a lot of water work, since this game seems to incorporate that quite a bit. There's a lot of beautiful water, and the weir makes me think that that's going to be something to do with water, hopefully. People are busy. We have that oven set to top right. How do we do it? They need 2 more stone there. We're keeping our people fed with that gatherer's hut. We got 1 person cutting logs, 1 person doing stonemasonry. Then we got some vacancies here. I guess let's get another person on food. Cool. Population data. Wow, look at that. Oh, this is on not human population, but animals. Red deer, European hare, trout, sheep, wolves, humans. Oh, there could be threats here too, and test humans. Some other, I don't know, thing for development. All right, that's kind of cool. So we need to worry about overhunting. That's kind of cool. Wow, and another beautiful sunset. That's beautiful. Wow. I hope there's more work on the mountains and such in the future. I love the lighting effects. The transition like that is just gorgeous. Would love to see weather effects in our own map, and then details to the mountains, and then clouds, and more to see with rain and such. There's a hell of a lot of potential here for more detail, even though they've chosen this art style, which is totally fine. I hope we can also build bridges to other maybe like, well, I was going to say islands, but they're kind of more like isolated mesas with that. Really cool. There's so much potential here. This is great. Hey, we're done with our previous goal. Fantastic. Community center. Build the rudimentary tailoring table and the community center. Oh, we're about to do it. Our main goal, finally. Oh, we got the hunter's hut. So cool how we have to worry about animal populations, which means that we probably would need to focus on, well, we'd have to A, monitor that, and then B, we could probably raise and lower the amount of people working at a construction site. That's kind of cool. Oh, wow. Now it's nighttime. Lots of crickets, lots of critters, it sounds like. I wonder if when we build the hunting lodge, if we'll be able to trap things like raccoons and rabbits, or if it's just for deer and larger game. Maybe like, bears? No, couldn't be bears. No, I couldn't imagine something like that being in a game like this. It would just be unimaginable. I couldn't bear to see it, honestly. Still 8 population. Hopefully the community center allows us to get more. Or the rudimentary tailoring, or what is it? Tailoring table. Carpentry table? I thought it was more carpentry, but okay. Anyway, that's done. I'm not sure exactly what it produces. Oh, it's making rags out of both grass, like wool, and then other stuff. Okay. So it must be to make something inside the community center, I guess. But now we can finally finish it. So we're waiting for 84 cut stone and 10 rags. We need another person on cut and stone. Let's do it. Primitive stone masonry. Is that the only place to cut from? Looks like there's a few small piles. We'll go with that just to get the community center done. That's just temporary. Take some stuff off the ground and then boom. Back in the community center. Yeah, so time is going to be really passing by realistically, where it's going to take almost a week to build a home, not just like a day or two. In fact, you can see that there is going to be a seasonal cycle here, Thursday, year 1, etc. Yeah. Oh, and there we go. The tree has changed. Oh, winter is coming quickly. Wow. That's gorgeous again. So now we have fall colors. Yep, and an autumn rain. So I wonder if there's a way to see how long it will be until winter. But we might need to prepare a fuel source, like cut wood or maybe coal or something in the future. Something more advanced. Maybe we can insulate the homes. We should probably focus on getting everybody a house too, but we're following what the goal on the right side is telling us. So more cut stone and more rags. Vacant, okay. Well, let's focus on... I'm assuming food is good. We seem to have started with quite a bit of that, so I'm going to go ahead and lower that down. And let's not have anybody focused on producing extra food for now. Only on gathering materials. Hopefully they'll come over here. And or we'll transport goods to the actual construction site. Let's build another stone masonry hut. A third one. Oh, there we go. We can hire that way. Oh, there's numbers next to their names. Could be proficiency or distance. So that'd be how we hire. Seems to not sort it by the best, but that's fine. We'll have another building to build there. Okay. So yeah, I assume the community center will be built out of stone at one point. Now it's just being used for more than likely the foundation, but the structure looks great. And a weird name for it, a community center. Not like a capital or the mayor's mansion or town hall, but community center. Sounds like we're going to get together and like, you know, play tennis. Maybe have a potluck. Make some hot dish of the tater tot variant. Oh, yes. Yeah, all right. Ooh, what is this? There's some gashes in the mountain there. I was thinking maybe it was perhaps some resources sticking out. I appreciate that these cliff sides are somewhat detailed, too. They're a little rugged and rigid. And that the waterfall also looks eroded, too. Really good details here. At one glance, it's like, oh, not much to this one. But no, if you look deep at things, there's quite a lot to do. And a lot of detail, too. Okay, community center. Is it getting the stone it needs? Alright, we have 3 people gathering stone. 56 and 10, okay. Wow, construction's going to take a long time. It's almost now on par with like Dawn of Man or maybe even Ancient Cities, where it takes almost literally years to build a structure, but it's mostly because of the production chain, and I do appreciate that too. I don't think there's a way to just tell people to gather resources without a corresponding building to gather it from. The buildings require a lot of time and materials. Yep. I love how they give that warning, because it certainly tricked me at the start, but you never know till you know. We've got other buildings like the simple barn and hunter's hut there, smelters, and a farm. So I would imagine with the farm, perhaps we can then build the the wheat field, and the farmers will care for that. A bush? That's beautiful. And it looks like for our seeds, we've got generic seeds. So a little bit banished like that, where we can't plant anything unless we have the seeds for it. But in this case, it's just generic seeds. So we'll probably have to trade for more seeds and get a few more things through trade. The different crop types. Maybe some crops won't grow. Like, for example, we'll need to, maybe in the desert areas, grow cactus for water. But obviously we won't be able to grow wheat, so we might have to import grain for bread in order to make our own flour. That'd be kind of cool. I love this. These types of games are great. It looks like nothing has gotten done and that it's just not going to be fun. But truly, it's like when I first played, for example, Kingdoms and Castles, where when you first start that game, you get 40 years in and you're like, what's going to happen? And then suddenly dragons and Vikings and more start hitting your town, and it becomes a real crazy fest of then wanting to go back and build your city based on, well, day one, based on what you know for year 60 or year 100 or something about dragon attacks and laying out the towers a certain distance from the buildings so they can be protected, but also giving enough distance between the wall and the city so the city can grow. And so it'll be the same here with the village wall on how large that should be for if we get attacked or if we can build defenses or whatnot. I mean, truly, we only have one house done and a couple of benches, but I can see a lot of potential here for a big city, especially if the other buildings here, which unfortunately we can't build. Oh, yes, we can. They do have a little bit of a larger footprint and probably provide a lot more happiness and maybe tax dollars too, as they mentioned earlier in the briefing. Looks like that might take planks and regular wood, stone, rags, and grass. Yeah, just grass. Hay and straw, really, because you can see it on the top. And plus, one of the houses is called a straw house, so there you go. Makes sense. Wow, a lot of construction. This is going to be a great one for a live stream on the channel. I'm really excited to play more of this for sure. It's going to take a long time to deliver all that stone. We're now down to 43 and 9. 9 rags have been completed. 43 stone remaining to be delivered. Wow, that's going to be awesome. All right, well, let's wait for the community center to be finished, shall we? Behind us now, and the community center is almost done. Nothing too noteworthy about winter, but a lot of the other homes that were being constructed got some grass before it ran out for the winter. Makes sense, right? We can't gather grass or anything like that for straw roofs in the wintertime, which is interesting because then that means that we'll have to probably do home maintenance and construction since most of them seem to have well, except for the last tier, have a straw roof. Looks like that's going to have to take place before the winter months. And it lasts for a little while, so yeah, do all your construction, especially for buildings that have a straw roof, before winter. Or you could always lay them out in the winter too, as they will require branches and logs. So I guess another tactic is to at least lay them all out, have the workers deliver most of the materials, then when spring has sprung, then you should be able to tell them to, well, gather grass and finish up the roofs. But that'll be the last part of it, right? You build the walls and the foundation, then you put the roof on, so it makes sense. All right, Ursula here is working at the rudimentary tailoring table. And let's see. Yeah, the forester stump. Okay, so we need, what do we need exactly? Is it more rags? Yeah, it's 4 rags. So it's not necessarily the straw. It's the grass that's needed to make the rags. So it's still a construction material or whatnot. So let's see here. Pending materials, delivered materials. Let's go ahead and cancel construction and see if we get those materials back. I'm going to cancel like more than half the houses. So let's see here. Remove modifications. Level objects. Yeah, let's go ahead and try that. Not sure if we get the materials back, but we'll just kind of delete the ones already. Kind of being constructed. See if that makes any difference. All right, let's speed up time. Now, this is already set to the highest productivity, or highest importance for productivity. Let's see, Forester's Stump. Do we want to make rags out of production limit. Let's go ahead and just make that like 50. There we go. All right, now this should get done pretty quickly. It was at about 30 a minute ago, and now, oh, okay, I see. We have to set the number this way. Let's see if that works. Looks like it's 3 out of 3. This person has 29 grass here, so they're not necessarily doing their job. Let me fire and hire somebody else. There we go. That might be from a different station. Some of these people are starting to have the same name, so it's hard to tell who's who. Alright, so this person has 100% proficiency in this job. But the rags are taking a while. That is meant to be a top priority building, too. The other ones are set to pause, so there really should be no other delivery or construction going on at all, other than that building. Other than the usual workers doing what they do best, which is, of course, stone cutters, storing stone at their base, whatnot, yep. Stored goods. You already sitting there. I'm not seeing anybody working here. This is weird. This building was doing just fine. Owning faction as player. Ah, yeah. So that means there must be other villages that will eventually be on the maps in the future, and then, of course, we can trade with them or fight with them, which is interesting, because then we could fortify our position up here and maybe perhaps invade them one day, or rather just go peacefully and trade with them, and then maybe they'll just want to join us in the future because they just see how cool we are. Well, delivered materials are 6 out of 4, which means 10 in total there. Huh. Interesting. Well, with that complete, at least the community center will be done, and we got a long grind to go. Somewhat realistic in terms of its length of production chains. Obviously, towns didn't spring up overnight, but we certainly want them to. It's going to take a while to get there. But I see a lot of promise and potential here, even though it might take a little longer to do it, and I certainly prefer that. From games like Pharaoh to games like Dawn of Man and Ancient Cities, this one seems to fall closer towards Dawn of Man and Ancient Cities in the time it takes to build these buildings, and has a little bit of Banished in it too, in terms of like kind of being thrown out there to build your own city and try to attract people to it, buying seeds and other things, to then eventually possibly, well, other things like, for example, being invaded or just trading with your neighbors and doing things with diplomacy. I like what I see so far, even though I kind of just saw a bunch of blueprints or whatnot. I don't know. I like it. Alright, and if you liked it too, make sure you check out Circle of Kerzoven on Steam. Everybody watching now can just simply go and download it right now for Steam's Big O Builder Fest going on. So go ahead and jump on Steam and give it a try too. This is definitely one I'm going to be adding to my wish list, and probably be playing the demo again, especially for a live stream, to see some of those longer put out sections. But by just first glance at this game, and by looking at the splash screen and a few other things, I think this is going to be a game I'm going to want to play time and time again, especially since there is a little bit more to the setup of the town, and so thus, because it takes a while to build, it certainly feels a lot more rewarding in the end. Alright, thanks again everybody for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. Leave a like on the way out, and thank you very much for coming on back for some more videos if you're a subscriber, and I hope to see you again if you just subscribed today. Thanks again for watching. Everybody have a wonderful day. Goodbye, everybody.